English Vibes Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that I think we can all relate to: overthinking. You know those nights when you just can't seem to switch off your brain? You're lying there, staring at the ceiling, and suddenly, you're reliving that embarrassing moment from 5 years ago. Or you're imagining every possible disaster that could happen tomorrow. It's like our minds have this incredible ability to turn the smallest things into full-blown dramas.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can totally relate to that. Just the other night, I was lying in bed, and I started thinking about this awkward conversation I had with a coworker. And I was like, did I say the wrong thing? What if they think I'm weird? It just spiraled.
Exactly. And that's why today, we're going to talk about how to stop overthinking. It's not just exhausting. It's like running on a hamster wheel. You're moving, but you're not really getting anywhere. But don't worry, we've got some practical tips to help you hop off that wheel and actually relax.
Oh, I love that analogy. A hamster wheel. It's so true. I feel like I'm just running in circles sometimes. Laughs.
Right? And to make it even better, we have Lucy joining us today. She's fantastic at breaking things down in a way that's easy to understand and fun, too. She'll share some great ways to quiet that overactive brain and feel more in control of your thoughts. And of course, we'll be learning some awesome English phrases and vocabulary along the way.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear what Lucy has to say.
So let's not overthink it. Let's get started. Imagine a child flying a kite on a bright, breezy afternoon. The sky is clear, the wind is perfect, and the kite soars higher and higher. But then, suddenly, the string begins to tangle. In a rush to fix it, the child pulls harder, twisting the string more, and the kite crashes to the ground.
Oh no, that's such a vivid image. I can totally picture that. Laughs.
Now, what if the child had paused, taken a breath, and gently worked through the knots instead of panicking? The kite would have flown again, free and graceful. Our thoughts are much like that kite. When we let them flow naturally, they lift us to new heights, but when we overthink, they tangle and pull us down.
Wow, that's a really powerful analogy. So it's like when we overthink, we're just making things worse for ourselves?
Exactly. Overthinking keeps us stuck in the knot of what-ifs and should-haves, making it hard to move forward. Take Emma, for example, a college student preparing for an important exam. She studied hard, but as the exam approached, her thoughts spiraled. Instead of focusing on what she could control, she spent hours playing worst-case scenarios in her mind, leading to sleepless nights and anxiety.
Oh man, I've been there. It's like you know you've prepared, but your mind just won't let you relax. Laughs.
Right. Emma's story reminds us that overthinking doesn't solve problems, it creates new ones. Our minds need space to breathe, and the first step is learning to pause. There's a saying, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf.
Surfing? That's an interesting twist. So you're saying we should ride the waves of our thoughts instead of trying to control them?
Exactly. Our minds are like the ocean, full of waves, thoughts, emotions, doubts, and hopes. Some waves are small and gentle, while others are towering and intimidating. Overthinking happens when we try to control these waves. But the truth is, we can't stop them. What we can do is learn to surf.
I love that. It's like embracing the chaos instead of fighting it. Laughs.
Think about Stella, a young professional who constantly overthinks her decisions at work. After every meeting, she replays her words in her mind, questioning herself. These thoughts crash over her like waves, leaving her exhausted. But when Stella started focusing on riding each wave instead of fearing it, her perspective shifted.
That's so relatable. I feel like I do that too, especially after presentations. I'm like, did I say the right thing? What did they think?
Many people believe that overthinking is a sign of being careful or thorough. But let's be honest, overthinking is rarely productive. It feels like problem solving, but it's not. It's like spinning in a hamster wheel, moving endlessly but going nowhere.
Wow, that's a great way to put it. It's like we think we're being productive, but we're just stuck in our heads. Laughs.
Exactly. Take James, an entrepreneur who spent weeks overthinking a decision about his new business venture. He made lists and backup plans, but the more he thought, the more confused he became. Overthinking trapped him in indecision.
That's so frustrating. It's like you want to make the right choice, but you end up paralyzed by all the options.
Overthinking isn't about solving problems, it's about getting stuck in a loop. Often, we overthink because we're afraid of failure, rejection, or the unknown. But here's the paradox. Overthinking doesn't protect us from these fears, it amplifies them.
That's such a good point. It's like we think we're being cautious, but we're just making ourselves more anxious. Laughs.
Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting that we can't control everything. Imagine holding a jar of muddy water. If you shake it constantly, the water stays cloudy. But if you set it down and let it rest, the dirt settles, and the water becomes clear. Our minds work the same way.
That's a beautiful image. So, when we stop overthinking, we give our thoughts a chance to settle?
Exactly. Clarity comes when we pause. But letting go isn't easy, especially in a world that values control and perfection. Social media often adds fuel to the fire, making us compare our lives to others.
Oh, I can totally see that. I mean, scrolling through Instagram can make you feel like everyone else has it all figured out while you're just overthinking everything. Laughs.
Right. Take Rachel, for example. She scrolls through her phone every night before bed, comparing her life to others. By the time she puts her phone down, her mind is racing with thoughts. But once Rachel started setting boundaries and focusing on her own journey, she noticed a significant change.
That's such a great reminder. It's all about shifting our focus back to ourselves.
Stopping overthinking doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process. Start small, take a deep breath, and focus on one thing at a time. When your mind starts to spiral, ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it true?
That's a really practical tip. I think I need to start doing that. Laughs.
Another powerful tool is gratitude. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, breaking the cycle of overthinking.
I love that. It's like training your brain to look for the positives instead of getting stuck in the negatives.
Exactly. Life will always have uncertainties, but overthinking doesn't have to control us. Like the child with the kite or the surfer riding the waves, we can learn to navigate our thoughts with grace.
That's such an empowering thought. It's all about trusting ourselves, right? Laughs.
Yes, letting go isn't about ignoring our problems. It's about trusting ourselves to face them without being consumed. Take a moment to reflect. What thoughts have you been holding on to too tightly? What would happen if you let them rest?
Wow, that's a deep question. I think I need to sit with that for a bit.
Remember, overthinking isn't who you are, it's something you do. With patience and practice, it's something you can overcome.
Thank you for that. I feel like I have a lot to think about, but in a good way. Laughs.
Thanks for joining us on the English podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and download the episode PDF, packed with tips and key phrases we covered today. Progress takes time. The more you listen and practice, the more confident you'll become.
I can't wait to dive into that PDF.
We're here every week to guide you on your journey. See you in the next episode. Until then, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and keep making those toward better English and a calmer mind. Bye for now, and happy learning.
Bye. Laughs.